What's going on, wrestling fans? It is I, Default, and welcome to 10 Count right here on Wrestling News Co. On today's edition, I'm talking to one of the most prominent members of a huge Royal Wrestling family. It's Lance Anoa'i. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on again, man, and I'm glad to be here.
Yes, we broke the internet last time, so let's do it again, shall we?
Hey, man,
Because
why not,
recently,
man? The family, the bloodline, man, we've been tearing up the news, man. So, like
yes,
always.
multiple members of the Bloodline are creating stories, and let's talk about one that might get you a match with Drew McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre recently has been harassing members of the Bloodline, of course, and Jey Uso most recently on an episode of Monday Night Raw was a recipient of a attack by Drew McIntyre. But you went to Twitter and you wrote Drew McIntyre keeps messing with the wrong family. It was a video from 2019 of when he attacked you on Monday Night Raw. Now explain yourself here, Lance, because it feels like Drew McIntyre, who is now apparently taking the credit for injuring CM Punk, he might be eyeballing you now. Is there some motive here for you? What are you up to here, buddy?
Man, I'm just letting him know, man, he's messing with the wrong family. He went after me, he went after Jay, he went after Roman. Man, just you better watch who you mess with, man, because we got a big family,
This is
and you
true.
just don't
This
know
is
who's
true.
next.
Yeah, and that's the key to all this, I think, because Drew McIntyre messing with Jey Uso could lead to you, Jacob, LA
Zilla,
Smooth,
man, it could be, yeah.
Zilla, the Samu,
Yep.
Fatu,
Yeah, man. Like
the
the list goes
it,
on.
honestly, we could fill the whole interview with talking about the Bloodline members. So you and Drew McIntyre, it seems to have some beef left over from 2019 because you even hashtagged 2019 in your tweet about Drew McIntyre messing with the wrong family. So is there some hurt feelings there? Because if I'm correct, didn't he rough you up a little bit there?
Yeah, man. I got a little roughed up, man, but he got me from behind and took a pretty good one against the steel stairs, and then against the corner post. But I like to see him face to face, man.
Did you get injured in that situation as well, right?
So I lost. It was hard to breathe when I hit the corner of the steel stairs. That was pretty much it, and then just trying to fight through. But nothing's gonna stop me, man. Debuting on Raw, especially against Shane McMahon. So just had to fight through everything like we always do, man. We're just a bunch of savages trying to make it.
This is true. Now, you know what's interesting? I was watching Raw recently, and Nia Jax was in a match. Even on Elimination Chamber, Nia Jax was in a match, and member of the family, of course. And to me, it's weird because sometimes you use the word savage. So I'm glad you said that because sometimes the idea is that a Samoan has such a hard head that they can't feel when you slam their head into a turnbuckle. But yet a punch is fine because Nia Jax is getting punched in the face. She's okay. But yet a turnbuckle headbutt. Explain to me the rules on the heads of your family.
Man, I guess they say we got hard heads, man, but everything still hurts, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's weird, like, back in the day, my father, my grandfather, Rikishi, and my grandfather Alpha, and then my uncles Rikishi and all them back in the day, man, like if you hit them in the head, you did not want to do it. But now it seems like it's kind of transitioning to where if you get hit in the head, like you kind of selling. Because I even see Jey Uso, he takes the headshot and he starts selling. I guess his head ain't big enough.
So that's the key here. It's the size of
Yeah,
the
I
head.
think
It's not being
I think it's
smoked.
the size of the head, man. Uh, my father was a big guy, and so was Rikishi and my grandfather. Now we're kind of
True.
trying to slim down here, I guess.
Every generation is getting a little bit smaller and a little more in shape, possibly.
Trying, man. What can we say? It's
This is
hard.
true.
It's Samoan. It's in our genes. Mayonnaise is our steroid. We all love some mayo, so it's hard to give that up.
That's true too. Now, Nia Jax being a member of the royal family that you're a part of, main evented Elimination Chamber this past weekend against Rhea Ripley. Now, if I'm correct, this is the first time that a female member of your family has main evented a WWE pay-per-view, unless I'm mistaken, but I believe she's the first.
Yeah, I believe she is the first. I didn't really pay attention to that. It was bright and early in the morning that day when
You
they
weren't
came
up
on.
bright early drinking your
Man,
coffee?
I was actually up. I was actually heading to work, and I actually missed the main event. So that was
Oh,
the only match I missed.
it was a great show, but it's got to be an honor just to be again seeing one of your family members. Anytime we talk to an Anoa'i family member, it's always Roman Reigns, Usos. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yet having Naya main
yeah,
event
man.
a
Ever,
pay-per-view, breaking history, because again, the last time in the WWE a woman main evented a pay-per-view, I think it couldn't be WrestleMania 35 with Becky and Charlotte and Ronda. I hope not. Hell in the Cell had Sasha Banks and Charlotte, but yet
yeah.
this
Mm.
it's so many, but Nia Jax being the first female family member of your lineage being in the main event of a pay-per-view, that's huge. And then
Oh yeah, for
we
sure.
we talked about it before. Recently at a WrestleMania press conference, they showed the Bloodline family tree. And holy crap, I felt like I had to keep folding it open. It was endless. How proud of you to see that your name up there as well.
Man, I didn't even really know about it. I was out in Perth, Australia when they did the press conference. I was out there doing a show, and a bunch of people were just tagging me in it. And man, all you see is my name all the way on the bottom. But hey, man, that's okay. I made the list, with everybody else. And man, just to watch how big, like, just to see how big our family is. And not everybody was even in it. There was a few guys missing still. Like Zilla was missing. Jacob's
Oh.
younger brother, Journey Fatu, was missing. Um,
Now, why do you think they were missing? Because their contracts with somebody else?
no, there's no contract with anybody else. I guess the family tree is just so big.
Like people were
uh,
like, we forgot names.
yeah, I guess.
Wow.
I don't know where they got the family tree from, if The Rock put it together or Roman put it all together. And like the list just goes on, like how big our family is. I know my aunts were missing because they had a few on there, but it just
Mm.
keeps growing. Even if you look at, like, we could keep adding that tree. Like my kids, uh, Jacob has 7 kids, so you could the list is
Wow. So
just huge, man.
Jacob and you are going to be the ones who create the next branch of that tree because 7 kids. And how many do you have?
I have 2 girls.
You
Uh,
have two. So
yeah, Solo
there
has
you
a few
go.
kids, man. Like
9 kids.
it's
Oh,
not.
solo too.
Yeah, so we're not stopping, man. Like we reproduce, man, and man, the
Something in that
bloodline just
sperm.
keep going.
Yeah. The number one sperm in the wrestling business, apparently, because
Yeah,
my
man. Like
God, just
if you want it
procreating like bunny
for real, man,
rabbits.
no story's gonna end anytime soon.
No, no. As Paul Heyman, I think, said last year at WrestleMania in the press conference, we're in the third inning. I believe the game hasn't even started yet. If we
Oh,
have all these other children, part of the lineage, your kids, Jacob's kids, Solo's kids, but there are members of your family that are not members by blood. Let me clarify for a second because rumors are running rampant that Tamatoa Tonga is coming to the WWE. Now, he is an adopted son of Haku. The Rock calls Haku his uncle. The
yep.
Rock is part of your family. So, is Tama Tonga a part of your family?
Not by blood,
Not by
but man,
blood.
yeah, we consider him. I call every time I see Haku, he's my uncle. A lot of respect for him. I believe it's just more like the island culture. We're all from the South Pacific, so the Islanders just stick together, man. Like it's just one breed. Um, but yeah, always I seen Tamatonga growing up. I hung out with them while I was out in Japan. Whenever our schedules blessed us to meet up and have dinner. So there's always love there. And man, I don't know if it's true or not. I know I've been reading on the internet that Tom Tonga has signed, man. And if he did, man, good for him because I think it's well deserved and about time.
Right. Right. I agreed. And now, obviously, now everyone fantasy books WrestleMania because now you have the idea of would Tonga join up with the Bloodline and Roman Reigns? Would he help Cody Rhodes with the history of the Bullet Club? Like, there's multiple layers now to this. Now, where do you want him to land? Because everyone, you look online and it's like, oh, we don't want him to go to NXT because we want him to go to SmackDown or Raw to team up with the Bloodline or team up with Cody. Like, where do you want him to land in your idea of where he should go?
Like fantasy booking.
Fantasy bookie. Let's do it.
Man, so I would say Raw. Raw would be my pick, especially because Jay is there. Jay's kind of all alone, and if we do consider him, well, we do consider him like family, Tom Last family. So I think Jay could use some help there, um, especially with Solo and Jimmy keep creeping over to Raw and attacking Jay, and then setting up hopefully for I believe a WrestleMania match. That's what we're hoping for.
Yes, I believe that's what a lot of people are hoping for. And you bring up Jey Uso, part of the Bloodline originally as well, but obviously blood forever in the family. But yet people online are like, well, can't we just have Jey form his own bloodline? And of course, adding you to the mix, Jacob and Tonga. So there you go. There's his bloodline, Jey Uso taking on Roman's bloodline. Good versus evil, I guess, apparently would be the battle.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great idea. That's what I think.
I do too, man. I would definitely enjoy that. Especially being in the ring with Solo again. I worked him on the independent scene, especially man, Jimmy, Roman, man, those are like that's the top guys in WWE. So that's who you want to be able to get in the ring with right away. And I think it's a huge stepping stone, just not just because we're family, but man, that's why I think Solo is having so much success. He got called up from NXT, and look who he was put with: Paul Heyman, Roman, his brothers, and man, it's just a learning experience for him, and he's learning from the best in the business.
Yeah, and he's the last person to defeat John Cena on a PLE back in Saudi Arabia. I can't remember what the name of it now.
Man,
Maybe it was Crown Jewel, actually.
I know there's a lot of things, man. He's like 0 for 28 in his past matches, but man,
yeah, yes, that's thank you. I was going to bring that up, and I thought it might be a little insulting, but let's do that for a minute. Yes, you beat John Cena, and then from that point on, you don't win a match. As long as I can see, and usually in wrestling or movies, when you're like a crony, a henchman, yeah, you take the bumps for the big boss to eventually, come in and swoop in and take the credit for your hard work. But defeating John Cena, this has also happened to Austin Theory, where he beat John Cena at WrestleMania last year. And then from that point on, he was U.S. champion, but like he wasn't doing much. He was losing all the time in non-title matches. And it's like, is John Cena like Babe Ruth, like the great Bambino? The curse of the Bambino is put on whoever beats him at a big, large event?
Hey, I guess so, man. I'm hoping Solo has a big turnaround and he just start making real big moves. Like I said, man, he's learning from Paul Heyman. He knows his role and and they all know what they're doing. So I believe a lot of his were live events, his losses. I'm not too sure.
They were on SmackDown as well, unfortunately.
Oh, some of them, right?
Some of them, yes. Like Goldberg streaks. Some of them happen on TV, and a lot of them happen off camera.
Man, but I hope they got big plans for Solo. I would love to see Jacob come in, and I would love to see Jacob and Solo go at it in a SmackDown ring, Raw ring, anywhere, man. I think Solo is well deserved of how far he has come. He went from playing football to training in LA with his father and my uncle Reno, man, to right to NXT. And he's not stopping, man. And like I keep saying, he's learning from the best.
Yeah, 100%. And then, of course, with Solo on a losing streak, but yet heading into WrestleMania, hopefully he gets a singles match. I really don't want him just to be in a hoodie, popping out of somewhere and spiking Cody and repeating last year, because I cried into my pillow last year. So let's not have that happen again.
Yeah, hopefully it's not Cody, and hopefully it's not Jay, man.
So let's talk about Jimmy and Jey then, because recently we've noticed a pattern. Every time Jey gets a championship match, tag team titles, world title, intercontinental title, boom, Jimmy shows up, cost him so technically he cost him 3 championships in the
3 chips,
past,
yep.
7 months. So in reality, it seems like we're heading into a match where a long time ago, I believe a year ago, Jimmy and Jey were interviewed about this, and they were asked, "What's your dream scenario? What's your dream match?" And they said to fight each other at WrestleMania. Well, guess what? It looks like that dream is upon us coming up at WrestleMania 40. Who do you think is going to win? And how special is this to both men? Because if they wished this to
Ah,
happen, and it is going to
it's
happen,
happening, man.
then
It's
it's
gonna
like,
happen, man.
you always want your dreams to come true. Well, it seems like they're gonna.
Oh man, I really hope it does. As growing up as kids, man, you always, if you have a brother or any kind of sibling, man, and you're both wrestling, that is a dream to just. You're not wrestling on Raw or SmackDown or any uh live event, man. You're going to the biggest stage of all, WrestleMania, the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, and to do it with your own blood, your twin brother. Man, that gotta be huge, and I hope everything is set up perfect for them, uh, so they could just rock Philadelphia, man. And I would love to be there and be a part of it and just watch it live. But man, I would have to go probably with. I want to go with Jay, but I think Jimmy's somehow gonna pull it off. He's the older brother. He got Solo on his side, uh, so yeah, I think Jimmy takes it if this match happens.
Wow. It's going to be exciting too, because, years ago when the Hardy Boys finally fought each other at WrestleMania, everyone was so excited about that. But that was a whole different scenario with this Bloodline storyline and everything that's been going on. It's going to be incredible no matter what happens. And then I cannot wait to talk to you about this right now. The Cody crybabies. Let's talk about that for a second, because for as long as I can remember, when Roman Reigns has been around, everyone always thought of the scenario: Roman Reigns versus The Rock. It just became a wish that everyone kept throwing coins into the wishing well, hoping would happen. And then the fans are giving it. But they were given it after a scenario where they were praying for Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble, to finish his story, to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So the idea of people being upset being given what they wanted, but yet
Yeah.
not at the time they wanted it. So tell me how you feel about all this, because I do understand the idea of Cody Rhodes and everyone being behind him and everything he does. But at the same time, I talked to my father one day about this, and he doesn't watch wrestling. And I was like, "Dad, you know who The Rock is?" He goes, "Yeah, of course." I go, "Do you know who Cody Rhodes is?" He goes, "Who's that?" And that's where we're at in this scenario, where people don't understand that possibly, in the eyes of wrestling fans, Cody's better than The Rock. But in the eyes of the rest of the world, Rock is better than Cody Rhodes.
The Rock is a bigger name, you know,
Yes, I love
uh,
it, but
in the
yes.
Hollywood industry, wrestling industry. The Rock made the WWE a lot of money, and he made a lot of money himself in his whole career. Um, to me, I feel yes, Cody deserves it. He went in, he won the Rumble. Um, that's the point of winning the Rumble. You pick who you want and who you go after. And I think if The Rock really wanted it, he should have entered at number 30, threw everybody out,
Yeah.
including Cody, and he should have won it. Um, Now, was that the whole plan to begin with? Cody winning? I don't know. Um, was CM CM Punk? Well, he was injured. He got injured where at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But I thought the whole setup was going to be CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Rock, and Roman, which I believe I wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see the family versus family, but I also love, as you would call it, the Hollywood Rock.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely take that. Is there gonna be a turn? Man, who knows? Uh, but I believe the Cody crybabies, really changed everybody's mind, because The Rock,
Yeah.
man, if you look like, I believe Cody, like I was looking just on the follower wise, I believe Cody has like 3 million followers on social media or something like that, and compared to
Mhm.
The Rock, it was like almost at 30 or what. It's just a huge difference, man. Just like Taylor Swift, man, in the NFL. man, like she brought the eyes of her audience to the NFL, who she has like 300,000 follow or 300 million following.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, definitely.
So I believe it's just an audience, and who wouldn't want to see The Rock get back in the ring one more time, especially at WrestleMania against his own blood?
Yeah, I agree. And I think the discussion is very interesting to have because you think about it, it's like, okay, well, say you've been thinking about going to this restaurant forever. Like, go to Disney World. I'm going to go, I can't wait to go to Disney. I've all thinking about is
Yeah.
going to Disney World for like 5 years. And finally, you are at the gates of Disney World. You're about to walk in, and someone goes, and you tap on you, hey, you want to go to Universal Studios? It's right here.
Yep.
Oh, well, I do, I do like Universal Studios, but I've been asking for Disney for years. Yeah. But this is really good. It's I like Jesus, like that's what it turns into. Of like you got what you wanted, Rock versus Roman. You've been praying for it, you get it, and then the idea, and I get it, the dedication of Cody Rhodes on all the house shows. Every Raw,
Oh, yeah.
every SmackDown he's supposed to be on. I get it because go back to years ago. This happened to CM Punk and The Rock in 2011. Like this isn't new news. This has happened to other people, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm not in the mindset of going like, oh well, you can't have The Rock now. But now they flipped it. Now they switched it. It seems like even Cody Rhodes at Elimination Chamber challenged The Rock to a one-on-one match. So like, there's so many opportunities here. Instead of just giving us Rock versus Roman, we're gonna get Rock maybe versus Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania, a
Yep.
tag team match at some point. Like this is not just a one-off. This is a money, I guess, like a waterfall of money coming towards them, and they just like, oh, we smart because
Oh, yeah.
it's amazing. It's just amazing, Lance. I love
And
it.
people's gonna follow no matter what who it is.
I know it
Uh,
doesn't matter anymore. We're all in it.
yeah, you want to know what's happening next. But my whole thing is like everybody wanted Cody versus Roman so bad, but now what happens when Cody just loses again at WrestleMania?
Don't do that to me, Lance.
Yeah, I told you, man, no story is finishing, and it's just
Yeah, you did say that,
that
didn't you?
everybody's gonna say, "I'm not watching this product no more. I'm not." Cody deserves it. But yeah, we'll see you next night on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, yes, 100%. The people who are like, some their favorite loses or controversial news in the wrestling world, they're like, I will never watch this again. And then the next day they're just back buying the shirts and buying the
Oh,
pay-per-views and the tickets for it. I don't care what you think about if you have like if your like morality won't let you enjoy a television program. Well, look at your phone where it's made. Your phone is probably made in a dark factory with little kids' hands. So think about that. Where your clothes
yeah.
made, where did you buy your jacket, your headphones, my microphone, your MacBook? Like, come on, people. If you're gonna have morality on wrestling, have morality on everything.
Oh,
So,
of course.
which I don't think anyone's going to anytime soon because
Yeah.
we all love our iPhones and we all love the idea that Cody Rhodes is gonna beat Roman Reigns, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen. What
Nah.
I
We're
I
going for
recently
records,
talked.
man.
You suck. um, I recently talked to LA Smooth Lloyd, another member of your family, and we talked about the tribal chief segment that was happening before SummerSlam. And me and you talked about it too, where there was a design to have you there, but you were contracted by MLW, so you couldn't be there. Jacob, same thing. And Lloyd said that someone got sick. And if someone got sick, then that suddenly canceled all appearances for every member of your family. So I guess the question would be like, who got sick? And then why did it cause a rift for everyone to just be removed from this versus just you because you couldn't go because you're MLW?
So that whole thing was, so WWE didn't contact me personally about that whole thing. It was, like a family dinner. Me and my cousins talked, the Roman, the twin, everybody solo, and it was all brought up to our attention, and that's where we went from there. And then that happened to me asking for permission for me and Jacob to be there. We got shut down, like I told you before, but I'm not too sure of who got sick. I believe it was my grandfather was one who wasn't able to travel.
Yes.
He can't do much traveling, and I believe Roman's father also. can't do much traveling. You know, they're both up in their late 70s, and it's tough for them to travel. From there, I'm not too sure. You know, a lot of things got scratched because once you talk about the biggest wrestling family in professional wrestling, you want everybody there, especially if you're talking about the whole tribal court and you're bringing in the family. You want every single member there, not just two, three family members. You want to show how big and dominant this family is. And I believe that's what happened.
Yeah, because I can only imagine that actual tree that we saw at that WrestleMania press conference being in front of us, but with the actual individuals on that tree. And you're even saying members of the family weren't on there. So literally the
Yeah.
ring would have to be reinforced to fit all of you in there at once. 2 rings,
Yeah,
baby.
man, yeah, you better put us at war games or something.
No kidding, right? We need the War Games rings. We got the Bloodlines here. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
man.
can't.
Like my dream WrestleMania entrance is all of us showing up on stage for WrestleMania. You know,
Oh man.
I think it would have been awesome, especially if it was Rock and Roman and we're just there, almost how like just all of us forming two giant lines all the way down the ramp as they walk between us.
Oh my God. I'm sorry now. Now that you just said that, I think we need to sorry, Cody, but you can finish your story at SummerSlam. We need this entrance. We need
I
this
think we have to
entrance.
wait till after Survivor Series, I believe.
Okay. There's a lot of pieces moving on then. Yeah, say, yeah, this person's contract's there and this person's there. But, it's funny that we started off with you and Drew McIntyre. Clearly, you're going to get your ass kicked at some point by Drew McIntyre. Just watch out. You better watch your back. Just
Yeah,
saying.
see,
When you're walking down the
he
street with
always
your
got
family, Drew might, you know,
he always attacks from the back, man. You know, we got to watch out,
that's his
man.
thing.
Yeah.
That's his thing. And then, of course, talked about it. I think because all the argument today was, is Tamatoa Tonga a member of the Wani family? And obviously, what you've said is he is part of the family, but he's not blood.
We
And that's
welcome
really what
in.
it is.
Yeah.
He's welcomed into the family, but technically, if we took a blood test, he's not technically by blood. But again,
Nope.
he's the adopted son of Haku, and Haku, everyone calls him Uncle. So hey, if Haku told me to call him any name, whatever you want, sir, Mister,
You're gonna call.
Sport, Champ, King Haku, I'll do whatever I need to do to not get my nose bit off. If that's a story that's true, um, I'll do whatever he needs me to do. Please don't hurt me, Haku, if you're watching this, which I don't think he is. But Lance, what do you got going on? Because you said you were in Australia recently, which leads me to believe that you were actually at Elimination Chamber and you're lying to me. But anyways, what's going on? What's on the horizon?
Man, especially because I was traveling to Perth, everybody thought I was staying there all month for the Elimination Chamber. All my friends messaging me, but no, I went out there for one show in a training camp. It was a hell of a trip. You know, it was very hot, 115 degrees. I held a koala bear. Yeah, I went zip lining right next to the stadium that they did the chamber at. So it was pretty fun, you know. This weekend I got House of Glory making my debut out there in Jamaica, Queens, New York, and getting ready for WrestleMania weekend coming up. You know, a lot of shows going on. I'm also tagging with my father for the first time in probably 5, 6 years at the
Wow, really?
2300 Arena. Yeah, my father. I'm surprised that I actually talked him into one more match. So it's me and my father at an ECW at the ECW arena,
Oh,
but it's ECW reunion show. The Dudleys are working it, but they asked my father and me to form the Samoan Gangsta Party since my uncle Matt is not here no more. So I'm filling in those shoes against FBI. So it'll be me and my father versus Tommy Rich and Little Guido at the
oh
arena. So
man. Oh
we're
my
getting
God.
ready for that.
I think you said Tony Mamaluke. I was like, oh, Tony Mamaluke?
Oh, no,
Also a
no.
member of the FBI.
Yeah, man. I looked up, man. There's a lot of members of the FBI.
Yes,
Uh,
there's a few. There's a few.
oh yeah, Tommy Rich, man. I told my dad, I said, man, Tommy Rich is almost pushing 70, so I believe you can get in the ring too.
If he can go, you can go, Dad, right?
Yeah, because I think, yeah, my dad will be 60 years old this year, so you know. And then also early on before that show, I'm working twice that day. I'm working Rich Swan. So also at the 2300 arena. So man, that's gonna be a hell of a show. I love match. I love working Rich Swann. I worked him a few times. He's just a great man. He's a great person all around, and we also share the same birthday, so we got that vibe.
Oh, nice.
And then Juicy's also there. Zilla, Jacob, we'll all be in Philly. So man, you just never know. We got a bunch of free agents on the board, and just come Saturday or Sunday, who knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah. When one person runs in with a hoodie on and it's Solo and he gets blocked by Seth Rollins, and then you run in with a hoodie and you get blocked by, Sami Zayn, and then Jacob runs in and he gets blocked. It's going to be Avengers versus Thanos and his goons. I feel like is going to happen with you showing up. You're on Team Thanos, by the way. You're one of the goons. But man, that sounds like a great weekend. WrestleMania is coming up. There's so much happening. Rock's going to be there. Obviously, Roman and Cody. It's going to be such an amazing week. I'll be there from Wednesday to Monday. Interviews, having a great time. I
It's a
cannot
long
wait.
weekend,
So
man.
tell my wife and my kids that. But when I'm there for that long, I can't wait to see what happens with you, because obviously, I'm excited to see what's next for you, because I feel that there's something happening, but I can't put my
Man,
finger
I
on
read
it.
a lot of
I
dirt
can't
sheets,
put my
man.
finger on it.
Yeah, man. I was the only one at the very bottom of that family tree. Only
Well,
one.
only one. Only one. And we can end it right there, folks, because how are we going to top that? We got Tonga, got Drew McIntyre starting to beat you up, talking about all the good stuff, all the bad stuff. But all I like to say is I cannot wait for WrestleCon that you'll be involved in. 2300 Arena, the ECW Arena. I believe that's Friday night at 8 p.m. So you can check that out. And there's so much happening that weekend. So Lance, again, thank you so much for coming on the show, talking about the past, the present, and the future. Maybe I'll convince your dad to do an interview about how he's going to get maybe beaten up by the Dudley Boys. I don't know. But
Yeah,
all
we
I know
definitely
is
need to, man. Like he always ignores my calls, man. Whenever I got
wow.
yeah,
Wow. What's funny is, I don't ignore your phone calls, Lance. So.
yeah. See.
Thanks for being here on Wrestling News Co. I'm Steve Fall. He's Lance Anoa'i. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.